All right. Now, I'd like us to take a look at some of the statistics related to this year's Kenya Certificate of Primary Education Examination, that is KCPE, which kicks off tomorrow. Now, a total of 1,060,759 will sit the examinations. Now, out of this, 531,548 are boys, while 529,155 will write the same examinations. 27,161 center managers will oversee the examination with 65,107 invigilators deployed by the government. And of course, the government says it has 1,000 special monitors drawn from various ministries and departments of the government, which will also take part in the exercise. So those are just some of the statistics that we have for you this morning. And of course, the rehearsals begin today amid tight security. The government says it's committed to deliver credible examinations that are, of course, after concerns of early leakage. And of course, Education Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohammed has also mobilized top government officials, including some of her cabinet secretaries, to participate in the monitoring exams to eliminate irregularities. And of course, KCPE examinations, as I've told you earlier, will be done in 27,161 exam centers across all the 47 counties. Now, data from the Kenya National Examination Council also shows that for KCPE, some 64,758 invigilators, 27,025 supervisors will be deployed to administer the examinations. The papers will be marked by 5,824 teachers. And of course, here at KTN News Center, we've given you the figures of what we expect when it comes to this year's KCPE National Examinations 2018. 1 million candidates, over 1 million candidates expected to sit for this year's examination. And as you can see, it is that the number of boys who registered for this year's KCPE examination is higher than those one of the girls. And of course, the boys are 531,548, and girls who are sitting for this year's national KCPE examination are 529,155. And as I've earlier told you, Education Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohammed is expected to oversee the rehearsal exercise that is expected to kick off today in 2 different public primary schools here in Nairobi. And of course, we have different reporters in different parts of the country to ensure that we bring you up to date with what is happening when it comes to the official kickoff of 2018 KCPE examinations. All right, now to the corridors of justice, where Lugari Member of Parliament Ayub Savula and former Broadcasting and Telecommunications Permanent Secretary Sami Itemere and former Government Advertising Agency boss Dennis Chebutei are expected in court today for conspiracy to steal 22 million shillings from the Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology. Now, Savula was arrested at an entertainment spot in Nairobi over the weekend and has been held at the Muthaiga police station pending arraignment in court. The DCI launched investigations in August after outraged media managers appealed to the Director of Public Prosecutions, Nordin Haji, over a debt of more than 2.5 billion shillings, which GA has failed to pay over years despite services being rendered. And of course, our reporter Francis Ontomwa is at the Milimani Law Courts covering that story for us and now joins us live with an update. Ontomwa, good morning. What do we expect from the corridors of justice? The Member of Parliament who was arrested yesterday, expected to be arraigned in court this morning.
Good morning, Brenda, and we are back here at the Milimani Locals, being a fresh new week, and it's almost becoming a norm that we are coming here every week to report on fresh cases of graft, and this time around it involves the Member of Parliament for Lugari, Ayub Savula, a former journalist who's been embroiled in a corruption syndicate or corruption case touching right in the Ministry of Communication and ICT, and Savula is expected any moment from now to be taking his place in court, and not just him, but his two wives also, that is Helen Kemboi and Melody Ringera. The two wives will be accompanying him here in the dock, of course, to answer to graft charges. The Director of Public Prosecution's office says that they swindled some 122 million that was meant to be paid to mainstream media, but they were paid fictitiously to their accounts. That is because they are directors of some of these companies that have been listed by the Director of Public Prosecution. And aside from him, you'll also be seeing the PS, Mr. Shiundu, who will also be making his way here to court also to answer to these graft charges. Some 2.5 billion shillings is the amount of money we are speaking here, and it was paid to fictitious accounts according to records from the Register of Companies. These are companies that did not exist, but they were paid anyway. These millions that was supposed, rather meant to be paid to media companies. And looking at the long list that has already been made public on the debts that the government advertising agencies owes media houses, it is actually quite telling, because we are speaking of over 800 million that is owed separately to Nation Media Group and also the Standard Media Group. There are also the other companies that are owed, that is MediaMax and the Star. We also have Royal Media also owed some millions here, but ghost companies were instead paid the millions that were supposed to be paid to this company. You will remember that there is a pullout label called My Government that is published by the government and inserted in the local dailies that is supposed to be circulated with the local dailies, and this is what government agencies ought to pay actually, and then should trickle all the way to the media houses, but hasn't been happening. And therefore, this is another mega scam that is supposed to be brought here before the court. We expect that today the Member of Parliament will be taking plea to answer, rather to deny or to agree to these charges that have been leveled by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. And you remember also that the Directorate of Criminal Investigation has also gone on record saying that they are still investigating this matter. Some over 20 individuals are being sought in relation to this particular allegation that are also facing Ayub Savula. And aside from this, we also heard from from Parliament itself that they are planning to grill the member of, rather the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Treasury, that is Henry Rotich, and his ICT counterpart John Musheru. They will be grilled, of course, to answer to how this 2.5 billion could get lost in such a manner. And therefore, we are still waiting. The court hasn't started yet, but any moment from now, we are told here by some court officials that indeed we should be beginning this particular case.
The case is expected to begin any time from now, Francis Ontuma. It means that Lugari Member of Parliament and his co-accused are already within the Milimani law courts.
Well, not exactly. We may not be able to confirm that because looking at we haven't really gotten hold of them. We haven't seen them yet. But looking at the schedule that was brought forth earlier on to suggest that this should be beginning around 9 a.m., we expect that they should be around the court premises. We should be seeing them any moment from now, because we have already gone into the anti-corruption magistrate court, and we are seeing the numbers that are trooping into that particular court. Many people are following this one. They've come really to find out how this case is going to pan out. So any moment from now, we expect that they should be in the court, and that then should tell you that they should be around, rather here, just in the court premises here at Milimani.
And Ontoma, some will call it corruption, others will call it misuse of funds. At the end of the day, this is corruption. I mean, money lost, and the media houses have not been paid for the services they rendered to the government, which begs the question.